have time to go overseas and do the big extravagant summer vacation. You have traveled to every state in the country. What makes domestic travel still fun for you?
Well, it depends on why I'm going.
Okay.
If it's for fun, it's usually, the destination is a big part of it.
Yep.
I would say that when you're looking to do last minute things, find things that aren't going to be super long flights so that if you have to drive, you can still find your way to get there.
Okay.
And then I would say travel to areas that are going to be less impacted by storms. So yes, we want to go to the beach, but Florida this time of year, we're starting to come on hurricane season, so maybe not the best place to travel this time of year.
Okay, that's good to keep in mind. Last minute tickets. Are there any tips for getting those, securing those at a not extravagant price?
One thing you can do, if you're relatively agnostic about what you want to do for the weekend, you just want to get away.
Yeah.
A lot of airlines will have last minute fare sales, and those are great to be able to book. You can sign up on their websites. Be careful, because then you're going to get emails, every hour, every day. But you can find a lot of great last minute fares. The other way that you could look at it is to go to an aggregator like Google Flights. Pick 2 metro areas that you're interested in going to, and then they have a calendar that pops up and will show you the lowest possible fares.
Oh, that's an easy way to do it.
It is.
Well, okay, so if are there places only a few weekends left that people should be going that you would recommend that typically, generally, maybe have the cheaper tickets or an easy flight?
I would say that where you're going to find the cheapest tickets is where there's the most competition between airlines. So if you wanted to get to New York City for a weekend, there's a lot of airlines that fly direct between Boston and New York. Those are generally going to be the lowest fares, and they're probably going to be the easiest to get hotels, because it's not just a small tourist area with a few lodging options that are booked, fairly early.
Yeah. Okay. And so you're rushing to the airport. We know you've told us before we got to get there in time, but sometimes if it's not a big trip, you're just like, I'm going to go 30 minutes before, an hour before. What is the airport etiquette that we need to follow if we're doing this last minute trip and want to make it as quick as possible?
I think that if you're going to test the limits on how late you get to the airport, you need to have some grace with TSA, with the gate agents, because they have a system and they have a timeline for when they allow boarding, when they close the plane. So make sure that you pay attention to those rules if you are going to cut it in time. And then I would say, just as a rule of thumb, is always kill with kindness when you're at the airport. I have been helped out so many times by gate agents because I was joking about the situation, asked like, you must be having a really fun day, and then they were willing to work with you and be proactive to help you out.
I always think when people are rude to them, I'm like, it doesn't make them want to help you more.
No.
It makes them want to not help you, actually. So
I've actually seen it where someone was rude, they didn't get help, and before they walked away, we were actually looking to get on the same flight, and because I took a different approach, they got me a seat on that particular flight. So
kill them with kindness.
Exactly.
Works every time.
It does.
Brandon, thank you so much for being here. You guys can follow Brandon on social at Brandon in the Air, or you can grab a copy of his book, How to Avoid Strangers on Airplanes. I giggle because Kwani always laughs that she needs this book. Brandon, thanks for being here.
All right, thanks for having me.